You are listening to the Ranch Hand Podcast. Welcome back to the Ranch Hand Show. I'm here with Kyler Hymas today. How are you doing, Kyler?
Doing really good. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. Uh,
Good.
I'm supposed to tell you hi from Joelle. That was probably one of the first things that she said. Make sure you tell them hi and that I missed them. So
Perfect.
I'm doing my due diligence. But how are you? How have you been since we last saw you a few weeks ago?
Yeah, no, we've been really, really good. My wife actually went to Disneyland this past week
Oh,
and I was not invited. I got to stay home, and so she went with all of her college friends. They've been planning this for about 6 years, and so
oh
they
wow.
finally did it. And so it's kind of ironic because her family is moving to Logan from Wyoming. And so I actually went to Logan for the weekend and helped them move, and she was in Disneyland while I was with her family, and so it was just great.
Yeah.
So,
Dang it, that
but
sucks that you got stuck. No, I'm just kidding. It's always good
yeah,
to help
no,
the
I mean it
in-laws.
was no, yeah, it was good. We had a good time. So,
That's good. Why
yeah.
are they moving to Logan from just, I guess what?
Yeah, so Kenzie's my wife's sister's in Logan,
Oh,
and
okay,
there
that's right.
actually came an opportunity with her dad selling he's an eye doctor, an optometrist, and so he had an opportunity to sell the practice, and that doesn't come very often. And so
True.
anyway, he decided to sell it and yeah, moved to Logan. So yeah, kind of excited. We're excited though because before they moved to Logan, it was like a 6.5, 7 hour drive. And that's quite a long time. And so
Yeah.
now it's only like a 2 hour drive. And so we can visit them a lot more. And yeah, that'll be good.
N-
So
No, yeah, that's super nice. I mean, travel-wise and everything, that'll be definitely nicer. Does she still have family in Wyoming?
yeah, she has a lot of like her grandparents are in Wyoming. She has an aunt and uncle that live in Wyoming, like still. And I mean, so she does have a lot of family that still lives in Worland where her parents moved from. And so
Okay.
we'll go back there and visit, definitely, but probably not as much now that her parents
Mm-hmm.
are in Logan. But anyway, so just a
Yep.
little bit of family left over. So
Gotcha. Well, that's good. I mean, yeah, it makes vacation to visit family a lot simpler when they're
no, it
closer by.
does for sure.
How
So
are your folks doing?
they're doing really, really good. I mean, work has been crazy busy. I
Yeah.
mean, my dad's been traveling a lot, and we're still trying to get this, ranch going. And like we've been actually pretty busy, like our June and July, and we can get into this a little bit later, but yeah, are crazy booked for June and July. I think we have only a few open days in June and July, and
Oh wow.
like we have tons of stuff going on at the ranch. So
That's cool.
anyway, yeah, kind of
Do
fun.
do your siblings help out a lot too on the ranch, or is it mostly you and your dad?
So Caleb, my younger brother, he just finished school a couple weeks ago, or I guess this past week. And so he
Okay.
started doing a little bit of stuff with my dad, just kind of, I mean, odds and ends, like a little bit of stuff here and there with some of his friends.
Hmm.
They'll do a little bit of stuff like cleaning and, I mean, mowing and trimming, whatever my dad kind of needs them to do around the ranch. But I mean, other than that, Gracie, my sister, she got a job at a frozen yogurt place
Oh,
in Tooele. And so that's what she's doing this summer before she goes up to Logan for school. And so, but other than that, I mean, yeah, my older brother does kind of his own thing. He has a landscaping business, and so
hmm.
he has been doing that. And so, yeah, I mean, pretty much just me and my dad are doing this thing. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
cool. Well, that's a good place for your sister to go, Logan, Utah for school. It's the
no, for
best.
sure. Yep, it is the best. Go Aggies all the way. So,
So that's cool. So I guess let's get into just a little bit of your past, and then we'll get to where you are now.
okay, yeah.
So you mentioned you kind of grew up doing ranching, farming, whatever. What did
Hmm.
that look like when you were younger?
Yeah, so just a little bit of backstory. So my dad has always wanted to raise elk, and so it's kind of out there. But
Yeah.
so when he was, older, he had his own landscaping business, and he kind of used that money to buy some land in Rush Valley, which is where I grew up. And so they bought about 250 acres, just under 250 acres out there, and they had a house out there, and they actually got a ton of elk. And so
Hmm.
when I was young, I mean, we had probably 200 plus elk, 200, 300 head of elk that we would raise. And on those 250 acres, and then kind of a family business going on. My grandpa had an elk ranch, like a private elk ranch, hunting ranch in Price, Utah.
Hmm.
And so we would raise elk and we would sell them to my grandpa and we would take them up to Price and people would come and hunt them on a hunting preserve up there. And so, yeah, growing up, I mean, in the summer, it was crazy busy with stuff on the farm.
Hmm.
I'm sure you know, just moving water and taking care of the elk, feeding the elk. And anyway, yeah, tons of fun. So,
I'm curious, how do you go about acquiring elk? What does
that
that
is a
process
really,
look like?
yeah, that's a really good question that I probably don't know all the
Oh,
answers to, but I do know that there is licensing, like you have to
hmm.
have a license to be able to do it. And so I don't know if that's through the state of Utah or I'm sure it's some sort of ag license that you have to get,
Hmm.
but and I'm sure there's regulations as far as
Oh, yeah.
like you have to have it on like a certain amount of head has to be on like a certain amount of acreage or something like that. And so
Hmm.
we had 10-foot fence all around with, posters on our fence just for trespassing for, all of that stuff. But I'm really not too sure as far as what one has to do
To get an elk. Hmm.
to get an elk. But there are a few properties around Utah that we know of that where there's private elk involved, but
Hmm.
there's not too many. So
I don't know if you would know the answer to this, but do you know off the top of your head what, I guess, the amount of acreage you need per elk? I wonder if it's how different it is from like a cattle operation.
yeah, no, I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm wondering, I really have no idea, honestly. So, but I'm sure it's similar to cows. I mean,
Okay.
other than you have to have like 10-foot fence for elk because
Hmm.
they can easily jump the fence if not. And then there's this whole thing like we had a couple elk get out. I mean, this was a long, long time ago, and it's bad, really, really bad if elk get out because especially like where we live, if they do damage to people's property and
Hmm.
they're like our elk, like they're tagged as our elk and they're licensed as our elk, like we could be held liable. And there's just a lot of things that could go wrong if they do get out, which we had happen a couple of times. But thankfully, we got some good old cowboys on some four-wheelers and horses that would get them back in. But yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure all of the rules and regulations that go around like how many elk per acre or if
Hmm.
there are rules or what. But
Yeah.
anyway, kind of fun.
Yeah, that's
So
interesting. And then how this kind of goes, so you said you would transport them. How do you transport elk? Is it like similar to cattle?
yeah,
Like you throw them in those
so
trailers
they
or?
there's specific trailers that
Oh,
are
okay.
like massive trailers that you can hold depending on how big the elk are, whether you're hauling like cow elk, you can
Hmm.
get a lot more in there, maybe 10 elk or whatever that may look like. But if you're hauling bulls, you can probably only haul 3 to 4 at a time depending
Hmm.
on how big the bull is. And so yeah, but the trailers are massive. I had to do a couple hauls up to Royal Rut where my grandpa's ranch is, and that was actually the first time I pulled a trailer with a stick,
Hmm.
and it was quite frightening because of how big I yeah, it was there were some crazy things that happened. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm here today, and so didn't get in any wrecks or anything, so that's good. But
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, because their trailers would have to be huge, especially with their racks and everything. I mean, I can
yeah,
imagine.
no, they're super tall, and so I mean, we would go get like lunch or whatever, and we'd be, parked in a huge stall, and like all of these people would walk over and be like, "What is in that? Like, holy cow! Like big reindeer or what?" But
That's
yeah,
funny.
we had lots of people that would stop us and
Hmm.
want to look at them and everything. But anyway, yeah, super fun.
Yeah,
So
that's interesting. That's not something you hear every day that you're I almost said cattle, but a elk
Yeah.
herder.
No, it's true. Yeah.
That's
So,
cool. Um, okay, so I guess get a little more background. Where your dad's kind of wanted to always grow or raise elk. That was just like
mhm.
a dream that he had.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was always a dream that he'd had growing up. He wanted to have elk, and I can even get a little bit into like when I was younger. I've talked with you a little bit about in school how my dad was actually involved in a pretty big accident on
Hmm.
the farm, and so when I was just one, I mean, he was involved in an accident that left him quadriplegic, and so he was, out feeding our elk, and kind of the whole story is. I don't know if we want to get into the story here, but
Sure, go ahead.
um, yeah, so he had his own landscaping business. I was, one at the time, and I had an older brother that was three at the time, and he was out landscaping, and I was actually taking my first steps. And so my dad, in a hurry to get home, he wanted to get home as fast as he could. He had to, this is just kind of the shortened version of the story, but he had to stop and feed our elk. And we had one of those open cab tractors.
Hmm.
And so there was no cab on the tractor. And we used 1 ton bales at the time. And so big, big square, 2,000 pound bales of hay. And my dad got on the tractor just like he normally did. And he went to lift one of those 1 ton bales of hay. And he noticed that there was a hydraulic fluid leak, or just like the hydraulics were low. And that warning light came on the tractor. And anyway, he chose to ignore that warning light. And anyway, continued to lift the bale of hay up. And because of the hydraulics, because they were low, there was like a malfunction, and the bale actually rolled backwards and landed on my dad.
Oh wow.
And yeah, like crushed his neck and actually like caused his like face to kind of puncture the steering wheel. And that's what broke his neck, was that steering shaft. And so I mean, it took 45 minutes before anybody even noticed that like he was gone. Like, I mean, we were just home at the time, right? I was one
Hmm.
and my older brother was three. And so it took 45 minutes before my mom even noticed. And she had to go up, and she was the one that found him and called for help. And so we, got help there, and they were able to get the bell lifted off of my dad, and he got life flighted to the hospital. And so that's kind of what got him into what he does today. I mean, he never wanted to be, a motivational speaker and travel the world and share his story, but he was speaking in church one time, and somebody heard it, and they wanted him to come speak for their company and share his story and
Hmm.
kind of what had happened, what he was going through. And that's kind of what kickstarted this whole thing into like my dad traveling and sharing his story and kind of speaking on safety. So that's kind of what he does now. So
Okay. No.
yeah.
Yeah. How often does he travel?
So growing up, I mean, it's not as much now that we have the lodge, because
Mm.
that's another thing that he'll have companies there and he'll go speak there. But growing up, I mean, he was gone like 250 days out of the year.
Oh
Like he
wow.
was just on the road so much, and like he loved it. He loved being on the road, and he knew that when he was on the road and speaking to people, like he was making a difference. And that, it got kind of hard sometimes being home, because that's when you start thinking about like everything that you've lost and everything that's different. And so he loved being on the road, and he would be on the road like by himself. Like he was known for traveling like by himself, and he would
Hmm.
just get help wherever he went. But yeah, growing up, he was on the road 200 plus days out of the year, but
Wow.
he never missed a basketball game.
Oh
I
wow.
do remember that. So he was always there for our sporting events, whatever that was. He made sure that he was there. And so, yeah,
That's cool.
kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
and that's a lot of travel. I mean,
It is. Yeah, a lot of a
so
lot of miles that he's gotten over the years. Just yeah, he has lots and lots of miles. And I think he's told me too that he's gotten so many points at hotels, like Marriott points, that whenever he gets kicked out of the house, he'll have like 6 months of just staying at Marriott for
oh
free
way.
because of how many points he's got. So anyway,
Well, I
but
guess
that's what
there's
you
an
get
upside
for.
to it.
No, it's true. I mean, if my mom ever kicked him out, that's where he would go and be a Marriott. So
Well, I mean, if all else fails, you think you could use some of those too if you're in
no,
an
it's
area
true.
like, oh, I need
No,
to go to a hotel, Dad. Can I just borrow
yeah,
some of your
no,
points?
it's true. It's true. So no, there are perks for sure. So,
Okay, nice.
but
Um, okay, so then you did the little elk thing for a little bit, and then What did you kind of do the similar thing through high school and all that?
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much when my dad had his accident, my grandpa kind of took over the elk business. He would come
Okay.
out all the time to take care of the elk until my brother and I got to an age where we could start, doing everything and taking care of everything. But we
Hmm.
were so young at the time where, I mean, we didn't even know what an elk was or a hay bale was because we were like 1 and 3. And so when we got to the age where we could take care of stuff, we started driving tractors. It was so funny. We would go and feed the elk. And I just remember growing up, like we had this little flat trailer that we would hook up
Hmm.
behind a tiny tractor, and we had small bells, and they were the worst. Like we'd have to load like 70 small bells, just like grabbing them and chucking them on the trailer.
Hmm.
And then holy cow, I'm all for big bells now, using a tractor and using big bells, because growing up having small bells and dealing with small bells was horrible.
Yeah.
So but yeah.
I guess there's perks to
So
using the tractor over your
no,
body.
it's true. Less manual labor. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so you did
but
that through high school, then you went on a mission for 2 years.
yeah, for 2 years, and then came home and went to Utah State. And yeah, now I'm met my wife at Utah State. And
Hmm.
yeah, now we're back in Eagle Mountain, and I'm working with my dad at this event venue we have going on, our ranch out
Hmm.
there. So
Yeah, we'll get more into that. I'm curious though, where did you go on your mission again? I forgot.
yeah, I went to Micronesia, Guam. And so
What did
over
you
in the
speak
Pacific.
there?
So I ended up learning Pompeian, which
Okay.
is just like an island language that they speak pretty much just in that part of the world. And so kind of funny though, I got my mission call and it was like, you're going to be speaking English, you're going to be learning the English. I mean, I already knew English, but you're going to be preparing to teach the gospel in the English language.
Hmm.
And so I was like, great. I get to go foreign, but I also get to speak English. Awesome. Like
Hmm.
that's what I wanted. And I'll be in a warm climate, which is exactly what I wanted. And so I get over there and like they like give you another call and it's like you're gonna be starting your mission on this island. And I was like, you're gonna be starting on Pompeii and you'll be learning Pompeian. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I have to learn a language. And so they pretty much just like there was no like preparation whatsoever. And
Hmm.
so they just like threw you on the island and you had a trainer that had learned the language, or my trainer had only been out 3 months. And
Hmm.
so he like was just learning the language too. I'm like, that's not how it works. Like they should know the language like really well. But pretty
Oh,
much
that's
just got
funny.
thrown out into the mission field and got forced to learn the language. And so anyway, yeah, it was hot every day. I loved it. It was like 80 degrees every day. And then I came back and it was like, thankfully I came back and it was like almost summertime. And
Okay.
so we had gone, I could acclimate to the weather and not
Hmm.
have to come back like in the winter months when it was cold. But
Yeah,
anyway, yeah, super,
that's
super fun
funny.
times. So
The Pompeii language or whatever it's called. That's so cool.
yeah, but there were 11 different languages in my mission. And
Okay.
so I mean, some missionaries, they would start on an island and then halfway into their mission, they'd get transferred to a different island
Oh
and
wow.
they'd have to learn another language. And so it was like, yeah, good luck. But whoever the Lord needed them, that's where they went. But yeah, my mission was it was 3 time zones. And so it
Oh
spanned
wow.
like it was like 2,500 miles north to south, and
Uh-huh.
then like 3,500 miles east to west, like in the Pacific. And so,
Wow.
like, I think it was the biggest geographical mission in the world, but
Hmm.
as far as land goes, it was like one of the smallest because, like, the actual land, there was like
Yeah.
nothing. So,
Did,
but
did you have a lot of like storms and things there? Like uh
we
any
actually
hurricane warnings or anything like that
Yeah,
happen?
so while I was in my mission, kind of funny you bring it up, we actually had a typhoon hit
Okay.
one of the islands in my mission 3 months into my mission, and it was a category 5,
Oh
meaning
wow.
like the worst possible. And so this happened, 2 months into my mission, and I actually got asked to go. So after it hit, like the whole island was like there was no electricity, no
Hmm.
water, no running water, no anything pretty much. Like there was just debris everywhere, like so many people's houses destroyed. And so I got asked to go to the island and I was there for 6 weeks, an entire transfer.
Hmm.
or it might have been a transfer and a half, but I pretty much like did not proselyte at all, did not really share the gospel at all. Like didn't even take, church clothes. I just got asked to take service clothes or, just
Hmm.
like your normal clothes. And all we did every single day for like 9 weeks was separate metal from wood from, garbage. And then the government would come up and pick up the piles. But it was an experience. Like we didn't have electricity or running water. I think we
Hmm.
had running water for like an hour while we were there. And it was,
Well,
yeah, it was a different experience for sure. But
I can imagine.
yeah, lots of little warnings, but that was the biggest storm that
Hmm.
we had on my mission. So,
Okay. Well, that's, I guess you weren't technically on that island, so I guess that's kind of nice, but
right. No, yeah, if I would have been there when it happened, yeah, I don't know what I would have done.
I
I
guess
would have
we
been
hope
like
you're a good
scared
swimmer,
for my
right?
life. Serious, yeah.
Cool.
So,
All right.
but
And then you went up to Utah State. What did you study at Utah State?
yeah, so I studied communications, and so
Okay.
I got my degree in communication studies, and then I did a couple of different business minors, and so I did a minor in entrepreneurship and then
Hmm.
a minor in leadership and management, and so just a couple of different business minors, and then got my major in communication studies. So
Okay. What did
yeah,
Kenzie get again? I forget what her
so
degree's
yeah,
in.
she did her degree in speech pathology, and so she
That's right.
actually went straight through and got her master's in speech pathology, and so she's
Hmm.
a speech therapist now at two different clinics and loves it. She sees 80 kids a week.
Oh,
Just
wow.
like I don't know how you
Well, it
do
looks
it.
like you
Like
guys having kids anytime soon might be out of the picture.
yeah, yeah. No, she sees lots of kids and
That's a
deals with
lot.
80 kids as families. I'm like, I don't know how you do it, but she does an incredible
Hmm.
job. Like she loves it. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
yeah.
that's good. I mean, she did get a master's in it, so you hope that
No, I'm
she
like, yeah,
enjoys
you
it.
can use it and yeah. So
That's
it's been
cool.
good for her so far. So
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's good for her. And so now that you're back, do you run kind of the day to day at the ranch, or how does it, I mean, obviously your dad's
yeah.
there more now, but I guess how
Yeah,
does it
so
work now?
um, my dad is the owner, like the
Hmm.
CEO, and I'm the general manager. And so, I mean, I do a little bit of everything just because we are a little bit like our facility was built and finished back in 2023. And
Hmm.
so, like, we are fairly new business. And so, our team is kind of small. I think there's only like five or six of us right now. And
Okay.
so, with us being like having that short amount of staff, we do kind of wear a lot of hats. And so while I am the general manager, like I'm there for events and everything like that. I'll do some of the finance stuff. Like I'll keep track of all of our finances
Hmm.
and do a little bit of the accounting side. And also like if we need an extra hand to go clean the lodge after an event, like I'm there cleaning the lodge. And so really it's a little bit of everything. Like I
Hmm.
do marketing stuff and helping to build our online presence with like our website and just like our overall online presence in
Hmm.
general. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's keeping me busy. Like this past week, it was kind of crazy. We had a company out there and we do a lot of corporate retreats, like family reunions and weddings out there. But this past week, we had a company event out there. And so they
Hmm.
were there for like 3 days. And one of the things that we do there is like we'll have a sauna there and like cold plunges, and they do like the whole, alternating between the saunas and cold plunges. It's like really, really good for your health.
Hmm.
Anyway, so they wanted to do the sauna at 6 in the morning. Well, the sauna has to heat up at for 2 hours, and so it's a wood burning sauna. And so
Hmm.
I literally had to get up at like 2:30 and drive out there and be out there at 4 for 2 days in a row last week while they were here. And
Hmm.
normally it's not like that. Normally we're like they were pretty adamant about their schedule and like when they wanted stuff. And so had to do it. But anyway, there's some long days, some shorter days, but
Yeah.
yeah, overall I mean, I've loved it so far. So it's
Okay.
been good.
Yeah, that's I mean, I can imagine. Well, is Kenzie a light sleeper or heavy sleeper? That's the real question.
She's a, I mean, she's a fair. I try to be. I set like last week. I set alarms on my Apple Watch so they don't go
Oh,
off
okay.
on my phone. They just vibrate on my wrist, and so I will wake up and I'll try to be like I'll just like tiptoe around the house until I leave. But for the most part, like we'll get up around the same time. But if I do have to get up earlier then I'll just set an alarm on my, like I
Hmm.
set like 4 or 5 alarms on my watch last week just so that I wouldn't sleep through them, but just so that she doesn't have to wake up. But she does have like if she gets up and like we start talking or like she's up for a little bit, it is harder for her to fall back to sleep. And so I'm like, I have to be, extra
Extra
quiet.
quiet. Yeah.
So,
No, that's
but
fair. Do you know by chance like the general ratio of wedding versus like a business come out there retreat?
yeah, I would say like the majority of clients that we have are corporate clients. Like they'll come
Okay.
out and they'll do like company retreats there. But we have actually had uh this past weekend we had a wedding or a wedding there for like a 3 day wedding. Like they came like a Friday and they
Oh
left
wow.
on Sunday. And so that's kind of what we're gearing more towards, like pushing more towards is like a wedding destination venue where like clients will come in or like couples will come in and they'll actually stay for 3 days and have
Hmm.
their wedding there while they're there because we can accommodate up to 70 people, which is really, really nice. And
Hmm.
so we do, I mean, I would say the majority that come out are company clients, but we actually this summer have quite a few family reunions. And
Okay.
so in the summer months, I mean, while people are doing family reunions, like we actually have five, 4 or 5 that are like 4 or 5 long,
Oh wow.
yeah. So, I mean, it, it's going to be a pretty busy uh, summer, so
Yeah.
it should be good. But
Well, how does it like feeding them go catering wise? What does that look like?
yeah, I mean, we do prefer to do everything in house, and so we have like somebody in our office who will help plan like literally everything. And
Oh,
so
okay.
if if they want to do their own food, then they can. But we do like have a caterer that we use, and like they literally just they want to book. It's pretty much we'll help them plan whatever they want to do. And so whether that's skeet shooting or pheasant hunting during pheasant hunting season,
Hmm.
or whether that's like the saunas and cold plunges, or yoga, breath work, whatever that may look like, they just kind of tell us what they're wanting, and then we'll help plan it all. And then we do like we have food fees or catering fees that will take care of like all their meals, their
Hmm.
drinks, their snacks while they're there, so they don't have to worry about anything, and we'll take care of all the food and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of nice for them because they don't have to worry about anything, and they just pay
Show
us
up.
to worry about it for them. Yeah, they just show up and have a great time and then go, leave
That's
rejuvenated
good.
pretty much. So
Yeah. Um, so obviously they're not hunting your elk. As cool as that would be, I mean, actually that would be cool because they're just standing there probably.
no, it's true.
But
Yeah.
for the pheasant hunting, is that on the property that you guys own, or is that kind of, I want to say like hired out, but
Yeah. No, so we have where our facilities are built at Royal Creek Ranches, we actually have I want to say like 1,100 acres over there.
okay.
Um, so we have quite a few acres, and then we have some more property in Rush Valley that we do pheasant hunting on as well. And so like
Okay.
altogether, there's quite a lot of acres that we do the pheasant hunting on, but it's only in season. And so our pheasant hunting season, because we're private landowners, like we can
Hmm.
have our pheasant hunting season September 1st through the end of March. And so
Yeah.
it's like I don't know how many months that is, but that's like our pheasant hunting season. Whereas like if you go like public land, it's like a month long. It's
Yeah.
not very long. And so I mean that is a huge benefit. And so we love to do like European hunts. Have you ever done a European hunt before?
No, I don't think
So
so.
there's the European hunts, and then there's like a field hunt, or I guess the field hunts are like your typical field, like
You
I
walk.
mean, right? You walk, you have a pointer dog, and they
Hmm.
will point the birds, they'll flush them, and then you will shoot the bird pretty much, and
Yeah.
you just kind of walk and do it. Well, driven hunts are so fun because you're in a group of like 20 people, and you have different stands that you're sitting at,
Hmm.
and birds are driven off of like a cliff, or like we have a couple of different places that you can do it, but birds are either thrown up and they're literally flying over your head at like literally guns blazing, just like hundreds of pheasants just going over your head. And I mean, you don't have time to reload with how fast they're flying over your head, but they're a ton of fun because your bears don't get cold. And uh, anyway, so those are super fun hunts, but I don't know, the majority of those that take place are companies because you have to have like 10 to 15 people minimum that want to
Yeah.
do that. And so, but they're a ton of fun. We have a lot of fun with those. So,
Yeah, that sounds nice. Just a bunch of pheasants flying overhead and just
yeah,
unload on them. Yeah,
just
that sounds
letting rip.
sweet.
We
That'd be
do
sweet.
we do breaks and the dogs will go, fetch all the birds. It was so funny actually. We had one during our pheasant hunting season like a few months ago, and
Hmm.
I had parked my
Oh
truck
no.
like yeah, it was a horrible decision. Like next to the stand, not like they were behind the stands, but
Okay.
somebody had actually shot and like they're going like fast. I mean, they're going like 40 miles an hour
Hmm.
and then they get shot out of the air like 100 feet in the air, whatever it is, and they start dropping and they're going so fast and I just hear this big like thud and I'm like, oh
Oh
no. And
no.
so I like afterwards like go over and like thankfully there was no damage, but you literally could see like an imprinted pheasant just like on the hood of my truck, just like
Oh, dang it.
yeah. I was like, holy cow, that's never parking there again. But anyway,
That's funny. I
so
mean, if he would have been turned around, that'd have been perfect. It'd just land right in your bed, ready
no,
to
it's
go.
true, and it's true, but instead it just landed right on my truck. There was like a blood stain on it, and just like the feather imprints, like perfectly on my truck. I'm like, oh yeah. So
That's sweet.
anyway,
Um, yeah. Do you own the dogs then? Own dogs?
so we contract out
Oh,
the
okay.
guides, and so whether you do like a European hunt
Hmm.
or like a field hunt or a German hunt, whatever it is, we'll contract out the guides, and so they'll come in and they have their own guides or their own dogs that they bring, and so yeah, I mean, we have guides that they're like we have like I want to say like 8 different guides that we can call, but based on their availability, like and how many people are coming out,
Hmm.
we'll just reach out and let them know ahead of time, like when people are coming and if guides are needed and everything like that. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
That's cool. That's
so
a cool gig. My dad has this little dog that we've taken her out and just shot a few pheasants because she's in the works of being trained to do it,
yes,
and it's a blast. I love blasting birds.
no, it's a ton of fun. So
But oh, I was gonna ask something about I don't remember. Um, yeah, the that's I mean you could get into the dog thing. That'd be well, no, then you have to train them. That's a whole ordeal,
yeah,
I
no,
guess.
I mean, it's you got to start when they're young too to train them, and you got to be committed. Like you gotta have them with you and like be consistently taking them out. Otherwise, it's so. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be a lot of work. I mean, it would be really really cool to raise a bird dog and train it yourself. And I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know the first thing about training a dog, and so I probably couldn't do that. So,
Me either.
but
Well trained our dog, so
yes,
I did.
perfect.
So yeah, I have no
Yeah.
idea about that either.
So
When you have these big companies come out, do you provide like ammunition and things like that, or do they have to bring their own ammo, their own gun, and everything like that, or how's that all work?
yeah, so we have guns that they can rent.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, I mean, if they want to bring their own guns, they're going to save money because we charge a rental fee to use our guns.
Yeah.
And then it's the same with ammo. Like we have ammo that they can buy from us, but it's going to be more expensive than if they were to just go buy from like Walmart or from like
Yeah.
Cabela's or wherever it is. And so we do have options for people to buy like clays and stuff through us as well. But I mean, it's really whatever people, if they don't want the hassle of going and buying the clays and the ammo and bringing their own guns, then, we'll provide it as long as they're okay with paying all the
Extra stuff.
additional, yeah, the extra charges and everything. So,
Well, I was just curious because if they're flying out there, I know they can't bring ammo, so I
right,
assume they'd
right.
have to buy it somewhere. But
No, it's true. So we like it. We like when they fly in because then they have to buy the ammo
you're like,
from
oh,
us.
you didn't bring a gun? Oh, shucks, dang it.
Oh, dang it.
That's
So,
awesome. Uh,
yeah.
and then okay, so now I'm gonna get into like a little bit of the social media because I'm curious how you do it because I'm figuring out how I want to do it for this show.
Yeah.
How do you approach social media and marketing for your company?
Yeah, so we do a lot of our marketing is through social media, and so we have different platforms. Like we have our Instagram account, we have a TikTok, we have uh, like a Facebook, and what we've realized is like different clients of ours are on different platforms, and so
Hmm.
like for weddings, like you may like TikTok may be the perfect platform for that because of like the age range or like who's on TikTok versus Instagram or Facebook. Like you're not
Hmm.
going to have really, I mean, you may get a couple people from Facebook that message you about having a wedding, but depending on like your client and like who you're looking to cater towards, like
Hmm.
we've we have like our online presence as well. Like we have our Google My Business. And so we also rely a lot on building our online presence because a lot of companies, they'll find us through searching online for Google, like, because even like corporate clients, they may not be on social media. And so
Hmm.
like we have a LinkedIn page and everything, but they're going to search like, event centers in Utah with lots of bedrooms or, corporate event center in
Hmm.
Utah or, and so our whole goal is to build our search engine optimization, like our SEO to where like when they search in those keywords, like we're,
That pop
at
up.
the top, right? We pop up. And so the thing with SEO though is it takes a really long time. And so you could work on your SEO like on your back end of like the website,
Hmm.
but it could take like 6 months to actually see any results because
Yeah.
Google does a ton of different tracking methods to, they do like offsite SEO where they rely on other sources and like backlinks and everything. And so there's just a lot of different stuff, but I know Google, serious. But that's pretty much we also have a lot of repeat clients, and so for corporate events, like we do memberships as well, and so
Hmm.
like year-long memberships where people have access to the ranch and night stays and different things like that, like pheasant hunt, like certain amount of birds. Um, sorry about that. I just got a phone call.
No, you're good.
Um, we got like birds that are included in the membership, and depending on you know what membership people want, like we'll get a
Hmm.
lot of repeat clients that will buy their annual membership yearly.
Okay.
And so that's another thing that we do is we just have like yearly memberships that people can be a part of. And so yeah, there's those are a couple of different ways that we market ourselves.
Hmm.
We're trying to figure out the best way to use like Google Ads and more social media ads. We haven't done a ton of that,
Hmm.
but like we're because we are a smaller team and like we all have little different things that we're good at. We're trying to figure out the best way to go about kind of those different things. But for now, that's kind of what's working for us, and so
Hmm.
far it's working. So
Yeah, no. I mean,
anyway,
it's a process for sure. Do you know Nicole? I can't
Nicole,
Oh, what's her last name? This is so awkward if she watches this. Blonde hair. She was friends with
Felt.
Joel. Yeah, Felt. Okay, that's awkward.
We actually served our mission together. If you, I didn't
Oh,
know if
I
you
didn't
knew
know
that,
that.
but
That's actually
yeah.
super cool.
So she served on Pompeii when I was there. She she was there for only a few months while I was on Pompeii. But yeah, we both served on Pompeii.
Oh, that's
So kind
sweet.
of cool. So
Yeah, I did one with her, so I was asking her a bunch of social media stuff because she gets, she's like got all these followers and things like that.
yeah,
I might have to edit out that part where I forgot her last name because that might be a little awkward, but yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know that though,
So
that you guys served in the same mission. That's sweet.
yeah, no,
Wait, does
it was a
she
lot of
speak
fun.
the same language as you then? Or
Yeah,
no?
she would. Yep,
Oh.
yep.
So
So
there's one person in America that
there
you can
is
speak
one
with.
person. That's true. I mean, yeah, really the only time I can use it. Thankfully, I work with the church a little bit and do
Hmm.
content review stuff, and so I can use it that way. But I mean, other than that, like nobody speaks it ever. And there's been a couple of times where my dad has actually gone and done a speaking event, and he's run into a Pompeian, and I'm like, holy cow! Like, send me a picture because like hard to believe. But yeah, like they're if they can get out of Pompeii, like a lot of times they'll have a family member move to the States because like
Hmm.
living conditions are, it's pretty third world over there. And
Yeah.
so if families can get to the States, like one member will get to the States and work and then bring their family over.
Hmm.
But I mean, Pompeii is beautiful. Like it's like I thankfully I got to go back for my church job, and I didn't get to go around and see a ton of the people I taught because I was there for work.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, I would go back in a heartbeat. It's just so expensive. It's like $2,000 to go back. I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
I would love to take my wife and take my whole family, but that'd be like $30,000 to take
Oh
everyone. So
yeah. Maybe one
anyway,
day, down the
yeah,
road.
down the
Uh,
road when, yeah.
what did
So
it at the for the church you were helping with the Book of Mormon, right? I don't remember
yeah, so
exactly.
I do. I'm a content reviewer, and
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't do any translation, but I will review translations that are translated from the English to Pompeian, and just make sure like, they make sense in Pompeian, but also that the English meaning isn't lost, and
Hmm.
that yeah, like I've enjoyed it. I started when I got home from my mission, and so crazy. It's actually been this past March. It was 5 years, which is
Dude, you're
like a
old.
gut wrench. I'm old. I'm getting up there, but so
Yeah.
funny. My sister actually came home from her mission on March 20th
Oh, that's right.
this year, and I actually came home on March 20th, which
Oh,
is like
wow.
so ironic. But
Yeah,
anyway, it
that's
was like a gut wrench when I was like, "Holy cow! It's actually been 5 years." And anyway, I'm like getting up there, kind of old.
yeah.
So
Is it close to being done? Is it done? Where is that the Pompeii edition
it's
at?
actually done. We finished the translation for the Book of Mormon. It's just
Oh,
got some
okay.
final steps that need to be, that there's a lot of different steps that it has to go through in order to actually get to publication
Hmm.
because uh, I mean, once you publish it, it's kind of expensive to publish it and you don't want to have to go back and redo stuff. And so it's actually online right now for
Oh,
the
okay.
members to go and read. But as far as like printing anything goes, I don't think any printing has been done yet. They actually had a Pompeian Book of Mormon that was partly translated,
Hmm.
but they wanted to redo the translation. And so, uh,
Huh,
anyway,
that's
so
cool.
yeah,
Not
kind of
many people
crazy.
can say that, so that's kind of a
Oh, yeah.
little
No,
niche
it
thing you
is.
can say.
It is kind of cool. So.
And you guys are at King living, it's Eagle Mountain, right? Or
Yeah, we're living in Eagle Mountain right now, and we love it so far. I mean,
yeah.
I went back up to Logan, and I was like, "Holy cow! I actually really miss Logan." It was just we actually drove. I actually drove by our, our first house that we lived in, and I was like, "Holy cow!" It brought back so many memories. But we do love Eagle Mountain. Like the traffic is
Not as bad.
horrible, but I mean, it is actually horrible
Really?
with the amount of construction they're doing,
Uh,
and there's only one road that goes into Eagle
mm,
Mountain, and so everybody that works in Eagle Mountain going to like Lehigh or Salt Lake, they go out on that road, and so when they come back in, it's just thankfully we both work out the other direction, and so we don't
oh,
hit traffic. But when we're going into like Walmart or do like grocery shopping or go into town, it's traffic is like you don't go and grocery shop between like 4 and 8 o'clock at night.
oh, jeez.
It's crazy. But
How far of a drive is it for you to work, and how far of a drive is it for Kenzie to work?
so for me out to like our office, it's about a 35-minute drive or so, but
Oh, okay.
to the actual facilities, it's like a 45-minute drive. And
Oh,
so
that's not too
it's
bad.
not, I mean, yeah, I've really gotten used to it because I pretty much do it every single day. And so I mean, it's fine. Like you know, I'm just chilling in the car while I'm driving. And so it's like I've gotten used to it. But she drives for like 20, it's like a 20-minute drive
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And so it's not bad at all. And then the other clinic she works at, because she works at two,
Hmm.
it's like a 5-minute drive. And
Oh, wow.
so it's literally
That's
like right
nice.
down the street. So
Well,
yeah,
maybe you'll just have to get into audiobooks. That's what I started doing, and that passes the time very
I know.
quickly.
Yeah, no, and I'm not a big reader. And so like listening to books that's like the
Yeah.
way to go for me. So
Yeah, I finally got Joelle to I listen. Have you ever heard of Red Rising?
Red Rising, I don't know if I have.
Oh,
Uh-uh.
well, it's a good one. If you're wanting to look for a good book series to listen to, it's a good one. I finally got Joelle hooked on it, and she, for the longest time, didn't want to read it, and so that's a good
Is
one
it
if you're.
what is it about? Is it like a fiction or
Yeah,
a
so it's like
nonfiction?
a sci-fi futuristic.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's I don't know how to describe this, but it's like a Ender's Game with a tiny, like the first book's got some Hunger Game type feel to it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely like as the books go on, it's definitely more Ender's Game, so you get a lot of like battles in space and
Oh,
like
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, so it's
How
pretty
many
cool.
how many books do they have in the series right now? Is it done or
He's working on the last one, I believe. Well, let me check. I think it's six. It could be seven, and he might be I think he's working on the seventh. But
wow. Are they like how
actually,
long are the books? Are they
They're pretty
Like
long.
200, 300 pages
I
or
don't know. I couldn't tell you
500,
actually because I've
like Harry
listened to them.
Potter.
I
It's
listened to
okay.
them.
That's
So,
true. That's
yeah. So
true.
there's 6 books out right now, and he's working on the seventh one. And Jaren's actually the one who told me to listen to them. So
Oh, really? Okay.
I
Yeah.
just have to put that Jared's the one who said that. So
Yeah. Give him a little shout out.
yeah. But
So
yeah. So if you're looking for some good books, I mean that's 6 books right there. So that will last you a good while.
perfect.
But yeah, if you
No,
like
that
Ender's Game or anything like that, Red Rising's pretty cool.
what do you use to like do you have an Audible account or do
Hmm.
you
Just
okay.
Audible. Yep, Audible
How
works.
does how does that work? Is it like a monthly subscription based thing and you just like have access to, you know, whatever
You
books
know,
you want pretty
that's
much or
I use my mom's, I'll be honest.
we
Do the
love our
whole mooch
parents.
thing, mooching
We
off
we
your
love
family.
our parents for
Yes, we
that.
love our parrots. They're great for streaming platforms and all of that.
Exactly. Amazon Prime accounts, you
Oh,
name it. They
so
are
nice.
they are
Yeah,
there.
so I use hers. But I think you can use points, but I think you have to buy them regardless.
Okay.
But they're good. So good enough that I
Yeah.
actually bought the physical copies. So
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to what is it called again?
Red
The
Rising.
Red Rising. Okay.
Yeah, they use swords and have cool armor and cool guns and
That's
stuff.
sweet.
Like it's
That's
these
sweet.
like jet
Uh,
boots. Like it's dope.
that's
So
sweet. That
would
is sweet.
recommend. But yeah. So well, like I guess I should have you put your social media. I'll also put it on this. But what is your where can people see your posts and things like your TikTok and your Instagram and Facebook? Like what's it called?
Yeah. So you want my personal or do you want the ranch one?
I'll do both. I'll tag you in
Let's
here and
see.
then I'll tag the
Okay.
ranches. So
So my personal is just Kyler underscore Hymas.
perfect. I'll
And
put it in
then
there.
uh the ranch account is just Royal Creek Ranches. So I mean Royal, yeah, like your Royal bloodline, like Royal Creek Ranches, just no spaces, all
Okay.
lowercase, no anything. And I think that's our Instagram, but I'm pretty sure that's like our TikTok too. I
Okay.
can check really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'll
it
make
should be the
sure
same for
to
everything.
tag it.
So
I'll put a little link on or tag it in here and so people can
awesome.
look it
Yeah.
up. But yeah, I know it's 7:20 because we're in the same time zone, but you probably haven't
Yes.
eaten dinner, so and
No, well, we normally eat at like 9 o'clock, and so you're straight chilling.
oh, you guys are have worse eating habits than
We
me.
we do. We do.
But
So
that's cool. Well, I'll let you. I know Kenzie just got back and you just picked her up and things like that.
yeah,
So I'll let you
no,
go
no
spend
worries
time
at
with
all.
her. But thanks for
Okay.
scheduling this with me and coming on. And
Yeah.
I'll let
No,
you know
thanks
when
for
I drop it so you can make sure I do it justice and that it was half decent.
perfect. No, yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been a blast to be on. So,
Yeah. Well, we'll talk to you later and feel free to come visit us in Colorado at any
Colorado.
time.
All right. Sounds
We have a
good.
spare
We
room
will.
that you're welcome to stay in. Thank you for watching or listening to this show. If you're enjoying the show, please like, subscribe, and even share with a friend. And we will see you next time on the Ranch Hand Show, where we'll continue to grow our plans.